Welcome back to Disturbing Curiosity, where we delve into the darkest corners of true stories and their tragic ends. In today's episode of True Stories and Tragic Ends, we're going to explore three more tales that are not only true, but also deeply haunting. From the eerie silence of an unsolved crime to the heart-wrenching aftermath of unforeseen disasters, these stories remind us of the unpredictable tapestry of life. Share your thoughts, insights, and suggest cases you'd like us to cover in upcoming episodes. Lastly, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell so you won't miss the next installment. Let's begin. Cassette Case. The Lockerbie bombing, one of the deadliest acts of terrorism in aviation history, occurred on December 21st, 1988, over Lockerbie, Scotland. Pan Am Flight 103, a regular Pan Am transatlantic flight from Frankfurt to Detroit, with stopovers in London and New York City, met a tragic end on December 21st, 1988. The transatlantic segment, operated by the Boeing 747 named Clipper Maid of the Seas. Flight 103 was carrying 243 passengers and 16 crew members. Approximately 38 minutes after takeoff, the plane exploded at an altitude of 31,000 feet. The explosion was caused by a bomb hidden in a suitcase in the plane's forward cargo hold. The detonation led to a catastrophic breakup of the aircraft in midair. Wreckage from the plane, including the fuselage and wings, fell over Lockerbie, causing further fatalities and destruction on the ground. In total, 270 people were killed, including 259 on the flight and 11 Lockerbie residents. The subsequent investigation was one of the largest and most complex international inquiries ever conducted. It involved cooperation between Scottish police and the FBI, among other agencies. Forensic analysis led to the conclusion that the bomb was hidden inside a Toshiba radio cassette player and packed in a Samsonite suitcase. Tracing the bomb's components and movements became a significant part of the investigation. After a 3-year investigation by Dumfries and Galloway Constabulary and the FBI, arrest warrants for 2 Libyan nationals were issued in November 1991, Abdelbasset al-Megrahi and Lamin Khalifa Fima. The Libyan government initially refused to extradite them, leading to UN-imposed sanctions against Libya. Following negotiations and UN sanctions, Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi surrendered the suspects for trial in the Netherlands in 1999. In 2001, Abdelbasset al-Megrahi, a Libyan intelligence officer, was convicted of 270 counts of murder for the Lockerbie bombing and sentenced to life imprisonment. He was released on compassionate grounds in August 2009 due to prostate cancer and died in May 2012. In 2003, Gaddafi acknowledged Libya's responsibility for the bombing and compensated the victims' families, although he denied ordering the attack. This admission was part of the conditions for lifting UN sanctions, with Libya attributing its acceptance of responsibility to Megrahi's role as a government employee. But was Gaddafi and Libya actually responsible? Or did he take the fall to relieve the economic stresses caused by the UN sanctions? Nevertheless, the Lockerbie bombing had far-reaching impacts on international relations, aviation security, and the pursuit of justice in cases of terrorism. It strained relations between the West and Libya for years and led to significant changes in airport and airline security measures globally. The incident remains a poignant and tragic event in modern history, symbolizing the global threat of terrorism and the complexities of international justice and diplomacy. Buried. Alpine Meadows was founded in the early 1960s by a group of San Francisco Bay Area investors led by John Riley. It opened in 1961, quickly establishing itself as a premier ski destination in the Lake Tahoe region. The resort's design emphasized harmony with the natural environment, a philosophy that distinguished it from other, more commercialized resorts. In the days leading up to the avalanche, the Tahoe area experienced a heavy snowstorm that deposited several feet of snow. This massive snowfall, combined with strong winds, created unstable conditions on the slopes. Despite avalanche control efforts, which included the use of explosives to trigger controlled slides, the danger remained high, but the resort was confident in the avalanche prevention efforts. On the afternoon of March 31st, a massive avalanche occurred, releasing a huge volume of snow that thundered down the mountain. The avalanche hit the base area of Alpine Meadows, burying the main lodge, several cars, and a parking lot under tons of snow. The force of the avalanche was so powerful that it demolished buildings and caused significant structural damage. The avalanche claimed 7 lives and left others injured. The scale of the disaster prompted a massive search and rescue operation involving ski patrollers, rescue dogs, and volunteers. The rescue efforts had to be paused for days as more snow fell and more avalanches ravaged the area. One of the most remarkable aspects of this tragedy was the survival of Anna Conrad. She was trapped under the snow for several days. Conrad was rescued after 5 days. Her survival, in a small air pocket under the snow, was hailed as miraculous given the extreme conditions and length of time they were buried, surviving solely on ice and a strong will to live. The Alpine Meadows avalanche led to a reassessment of avalanche safety measures at ski resorts. It highlighted the need for improved avalanche forecasting and control techniques and more effective emergency response protocols. The event remains one of the most significant avalanches in North American history and serves as a stark reminder of the powerful and unpredictable nature of avalanches. The Squatter. On the evening of December 30th in the Setagaya ward of Tokyo, Japan, an intruder entered the Miyazawa home. The sequence of events that followed is not entirely clear, but this is what we know for sure. The killer entered the Miyazawa family's home through an open window on the 2nd floor, which faced Soshigaya Park. This access point was reachable by climbing a tree and removing the window screen. Once inside, the assailant first attacked the youngest member of the family, Rei Miyazawa, who was sleeping in his room on the 2nd floor. Only 6 years old, the intruder strangled young Rei to death with his bare hands. Hearing the disturbance in his home, his father, Mikio Miyazawa, rushed upstairs from the 1st floor. A violent struggle ensued between Mikio and the intruder, but came to a brutal end when Mikio was fatally stabbed in the head with a sashimi bocho knife, a type of long, thin Japanese kitchen knife. Notably, a piece of the knife blade broke off and remained lodged in Mikio's head. The intruder then proceeded to clear the home, ditched his broken blade for a santoku knife he got from the home, highlighting the spontaneous nature of the crime. Eventually, he would come across Mikio's wife, Yasuko, and their daughter, Nina, and continue the attack. The santoku knife is a general-purpose kitchen knife, which further underlines the brutality and spontaneous nature of the crime. The killer remained inside the house for 2 to 10 hours using the family computer, consuming 4 bottles of barley tea, melon, and 4 ice creams from their refrigerator, using their toilet and leaving his feces in it without flushing, treating his injuries using first aid kits and other sanitary products, and taking a nap on a sofa in the 2nd floor living room. Drawers and papers were ransacked, with some being dumped in the bath and toilet, and some money was taken, although more was left behind. Surprisingly, the killer also left 10 items behind on the family sofa: knife, scarf, hip bag, sweater, jacket, hat, gloves, shoes, and 2 handkerchiefs. An analysis of Mikio Miyazawa's computer revealed that it had connected to the internet the morning after the murders at 1:18 a.m. and again at around 10 a.m., around the time Yasuko's mother Haruko entered the house and discovered the murders. Haruko became suspicious after being unable to call her daughter. The killer had unplugged the phone line and visited the house but received no answer after ringing the doorbell. Authorities believe the killer had stayed in the house until at least 1:18 a.m., but the computer usage at 10 a.m. could have also been triggered by Haruko accidentally moving the mouse during her discovery of the crime scene. In the Setagaya family murder case, police have uncovered specific but puzzling clues about the perpetrator, yet have not identified or apprehended any suspect. Analysis of feces left in the Miyazawa's bathroom revealed the killer's diet of string beans and sesame seeds. The clothes and sashimi knife found at the scene were traced to Kanagawa Prefecture. Additionally, of the 130 units sold of a unique sweater the killer wore, only 12 purchasers have been traced. Sand in a bag left behind was linked to the Nevada desert near Edwards Air Force Base and a skate park in Japan. Investigators discovered DNA and fingerprints in the house, but these did not match any existing records, suggesting the killer had no criminal record. Physically, the killer is estimated to be around 170 centimeters tall with a thin build, and was likely born between 1965 and 1985, based on the physical demands of the crime. The nature of the wound suggests the killer is right-handed. The killer's blood type is A, different from the Miyazawa family. DNA analysis indicates the killer is male and of mixed race, with a mother likely of Southern European descent near the Mediterranean or Adriatic, and a father of East Asian descent. These diverse clues form a complex picture of the unidentified perpetrator. The case stands out for its brutality and the killer's behavior post-murder, including lingering in the house for hours, and despite substantial evidence left at the scene, including DNA and fingerprints, the killer has never been caught, making the Setagaya family murder one of Japan's most notorious unsolved crimes to date. As we conclude this episode of True Stories and Tragic Ends on Disturbing Curiosity, we're left to ponder the profound and often unsettling narratives we've shared today. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the enigmatic and sometimes dark paths of history. Each story we uncover is a piece of a larger puzzle, a glimpse into the complexities and mysteries that surround us. If you found yourself captivated by these tales, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to Disturbing Curiosity. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and stay disturbed.